What the? All right, Komodo fans. What secret do we have lying within the bronze behemoth tonight? Well, I've been off the forum for quite a while, and I decided to try a new trick, and I like the way it's coming out, so I thought I'd share it with you. I got a prime brisket. I split the point and the flat before I cooked it. Trimmed all the fat off of it. I left a little bit of fat on the flat, but I trimmed off all the fat on one side of the flat and all the fat off the point and cooked them separately. So the flat is there in the paper. I took it off. I smoked it for about 2 hours. Got some good color and some good smoke on it. Then I took it off, brought it in the house and wrapped it in paper. The point, I also cooked it for about 2 hours in the smoke. Took it off, and then I took it inside and I wrapped it in foil. Actually, I put it in this pan and put a foil lid on it. And then a little bit ago, I took it in, let it rest a bit, cubed it, put it back in the pan with some braising liquid to make some burnt ends. And actually, I tasted it before I put it back in the pan, and it's good as it is. I don't think I needed to put it back on the fire. But I put some beef broth in there, some Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of liquid smoke. It was really good straight off the fire. But I'm just trying this trick because, I've seen YouTube videos about it. So I got burnt ends there. Prime grade flat up here. With any luck, with this recording program I'm using, I'll be able to stitch together some more video when I cut up and plate that flat. So we'll see how that goes. But I got to tell you, when I took some of those burnt end pieces and sampled them, they were really good already. All right, KK fans, here's part 2 of today's brisket cook. I told you on part 1, I took a prime brisket, I split the point and the flat before I cooked it. I trimmed all the fat off the point, and that gives you an advantage over cooking it whole. You can get the rub on all the surfaces of the meat. When you cook a packer and you don't split the point and the flat, you can only get your rub on one side of the point, you can only get your rub on one side of the flat. But if you split the point and the flat and defat it, now you can get rub all over all the surfaces of the meat. The rub I used was kosher salt. I took peppercorns and ground them up, garlic powder, and onion powder. I also put some cinnamon in there. I blended all that together in my little cheap-ass coffee grinder I use as a spice grinder. That's how I made my rub. Now, I already showed you the point. We've got the flat here that I wrapped in red butcher paper after I had smoked it for about 2 hours. And then I continued cooking it. I don't know if you noticed the thermometer on the KK out there. I had it running about 275, 280 for most of the cook. And let's see what time it is. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I took this off about 20 or 30 minutes ago, and I think I started this cook about 2:30. So I cooked the whole brisket in, I guess, 6.5 hours. Let's unwrap this thing, see what it looks like. See how it came out. It's hot. I may have to put my gloves on. I'm not wearing an apron, so I'm trying to keep this off of me. Look at that. How's that look to you? Let's get it up out of the paper on the carving board. Put on my heat resistant gloves here. Let's slide that out of the way. Look at that. See that? I got rub on both sides. That's double the flavor, double the fun. All right. I'm going to take that one glove off so I can work my butcher slice, my brisket slicer here. Let me see if I can find the grain. We'll take a slice or two off of this. There it is. The grain's going about like that. Yeah, that's all right. So that wasn't the longest cook. It was a pretty short cook. So it's possible this may not be the tenderest ever. Let's try a little tug test here. First of all, we'll see how that drapes. Not bad. That's hot. Let's see how much force it takes to pull it apart. Oh, that passes the tug test. That is awesome. So, I've talked to y'all before about the hot, fast brisket. That's basically what this was. I mean, 6.5 hours. That's pretty fast. Split the point from the flat before you cook it. Get all the fat off the point. I took all the fat off one side of the flat. I left a little bit of fat on one side. And I guess it's on the bottom side here. You can't see it, but there's a little touch of fat there. You want just a little fat in each mouth bite. A lot of times the flat is really dry. This flat is not dry. It is juicy. That's as juicy as any flat I've ever put in my mouth. And part of that is because I bought Prime. I've noticed this. It's really worth it. You know, you don't make a brisket every week. You're not going to go to the poorhouse paying money for Prime brisket because you don't buy it that often. You put a lot of work and effort into making your brisket. Spend the money, buy Prime. You're going to like it. Your guests are going to like it. That's the way to go. Let's see, what else can I say about this cook? Oh, I used hickory lump. I found some B&B charcoal. Hickory lump charcoal is what I cooked it with. So give that a try. That's competition style. Split the point in the flat before you cook it. Do the things I told you. Texas rub is salt and pepper. But I added garlic and onion. And some cinnamon. So y'all give it a whirl. I think you'll like it.